Hello, my friends. It was a good day. And again, I got nothing accomplished. I think I'm in a getting nothing accomplished rut. Part of the reason, the greater part of the reason is it was another beautiful day. It's a little bit of a fake spring in the sense that March can still hold some very cold, sometimes even icy days. So it's not like we're done with everything that has to do with the cold season. But we definitely have a taste of what's to come. I was so excited because some of the things that are becoming obvious. I told you about the Willows. While I was headed out to a meeting at church today, I pulled over and took a picture of them for you. That'll follow. Don't you just love how willows get that yellowish kind of furry look before they start to green up? And I love the fact that when they do, they green up rather gloriously with neon green leaves. And today, I saw dogwoods in the woods. Didn't get a picture of them. However, here in the neighborhood, after I got home, I was driving by, on the way in, driving by our ponds. Yesterday, these were not in bloom. Not at all. I could see the tiniest of buds on them. Today, they're full bloom. Ah, lovely. And the peepers today are even louder than they were the last couple of days. Taking the dogs out last night, sitting on the back porch in the dark. I heard peepers and I heard an owl. That's the kind of chorus I've missed over the winter time. The nighttime sounds will be complete for me when the whippoorwill returns. That's not usually until May, sometimes April, but not for another month or so at least. The sounds are changing. The denizens of my world are changing, including the human ones. We have a Facebook group for our community where those who are coming down on the weekends or for their vacations do a roll call so they know who's going to be around for the upcoming weekend. Lots of friends returning to the Bay this weekend. It'll be lovely to see them again. So, had a nice quiet morning, just reading and doing me things. Then I headed off. The afternoon was a meeting at my church, covenant group meeting, my meditation group that I joined. It's the actual first real meeting. They were organizational meetings before today. Today was the first one. It looks like there's going to be about a dozen of us. You all know how comfortable I am in that size circle. A nice mixed group. We actually have two couples that are married to each other. And we have single folks, and we have folks in various committed relationships. A nice mix. The only thing we are not a mix of is age. All of us are appropriately senior citizens in some way in our 60s or early 70s. It's going to be an enjoyable experience, I can tell. I think I mentioned before, I'm not the very best in group meditation situations. Why I joined this covenant group is I wanted to explore different kinds of meditation. And covenant groups are not just about what you decide to do, but they are about who you are to each other. You really become a bonded friends, a covenanted group who care for each other and support each other. It's part of the purpose of the existence of the group. And the meditation, we're supposed to go to our happy place in our mind. The same meditation we did last time. I don't know, we did the same meditation twice, but I know we're going to do different things going forward, not always the exact same thing. And I didn't want to go to any particular place in my mind. The first thing is that kind of thing, I can't be prompted to do it. Not in a group environment like that. But worked out beautifully is the last thing I saw before I closed my eyes for the meditation was the wall that I was facing was painted the most beautiful, comforting shade of yellow. Very soft, kind of a pale marigold coloring of yellow. When I closed my eyes, I was holding that in my mind. And it felt like gentle sunlight, the kind that we're feeling today with the temperatures in the low 70s and a gentle breeze that's warm and not at all cool. And that yellow took me to a place, with yellow being my association with the element of air, it took me to a place where I felt myself suspended in the air, within clouds, literally. And it felt like what it feels like if you're floating in water, where you feel the water moving around you and you're just, you know your body's whole and complete, but it just feels a little bit disjointed as it floats. And that's where meditations took me, into the sky, amongst the clouds, surrounded by warm breezes and feeling the sun on my entire body. And I felt my body drift like clouds, like dissipating and widening and constantly reshaping. I never lost a sense of myself in my center. I didn't drift away or evaporate. But I felt that holding myself to some sense of solidity was just not important. I really had a good journey. We were gone for 20 minutes before we were brought back. And it was a lovely experience for me. As importantly to me was when you're in a group of people who've come together with a shared interest, no matter what that interest is, you're probably going to have a similar energy level. And I really enjoyed being in this group of a dozen of us who were seeking unity and wholeness and balance, a sense of ease and comfort, even safety. We aren't all experienced with groups. So we're still exploring what it means to be in this group from a place of feeling willing to be vulnerable and open. And it felt good and it felt safe. There wasn't any disruptive energy from anyone in this group. I think that's why I floated. I think that's why I felt free to release my boundaries and my solidity and be present in my meditations in a way that felt light and free, with no sense of need to be solid. It was a wonderful way to return then to the conversations we held in the group after that. I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I'm putting aside the time to do this. It was such a calming experience for me, both the experience of the meditation and where it took me, but as much the energy, the calming influence of those in circle. And I want to say that when I say calming influence, we shared as our check-in the kinds of things we wanted to leave behind today. And none of us are people who don't have burdens and responsibilities and problems and extremely busy lives in most experiences that we're each having. But it was our willingness to put it aside, to have a conversation with all of that says, not now. I'll come back to you later. That's where we got to our shared place. So when it was over, I knew if I came right back home that it would get busy and there'd be people and comings and goings, and I wasn't ready to go there. So I decided to go to an Episcopal church that's out in the country a bit, only another maybe 10 minutes farther from home than my church is. And they have a gorgeous labyrinth. And there are things I like about their labyrinth. If you go during the week, very often you're going to be the only one there. It's in the woods. It's not the labyrinth form I prefer. I prefer the Chartres labyrinth. It's my favorite labyrinth to walk. This one, it's not an uncommon one, but it's not my favorite pattern. But they build it in such a way that the walking paths are wide, and there's a very fine, it is a stone of some kind, but it's more coarse than sand, but it's easy to walk on. In fact, I took off my shoes and walked it barefoot. There's lots of labyrinths around here, which seems to be unusual for me, for the area of the country I live in. But most of the Episcopal churches here do have a labyrinth. And there is a labyrinth at a nearby lavender farm, which couldn't be more beautiful to sit next to, but I actually had a problem walking it when I walked it with my friend Ro. Narrow walking paths, so tight turns, and very coarse stones, pebbles, which there was a time in my life I wouldn't have had a problem walking on those things, but now, yes, it's a problem for me to walk on that and keep my balance. What I love about the St. George's Labyrinth is this beautiful, flat, clean, easy to walk surface and wide walking paths. And while you might find it odd for me to share this, I love what's in the center of the labyrinth, which is a cross. For me, that symbolism became the solar cross, and it became a very welcome journey inward and then back outward. I sat quietly and meditated when I got there. The only downside to that particular labyrinth is, while it's a country road that's not too far, maybe 300-400 feet from it, it's a busy road. And you start to really dislike diesel engines and diesel pickup trucks when you're in that grove, because the engine sounds echo in there. That's the only downside to where it's located. I couldn't do audio for you when I was there because it was a wonderfully warmly breezy day. So the camera wouldn't work as far as the audio. But I hope you enjoy both the imagery and the still pictures that I captured for you there, that if my editing works out fine, I've been showing you while I've been talking, and if not, I'm adding it in afterwards. So that was a really, really good experience. It made for a very relaxing and calm afternoon. Afterwards, we decided we were going to go out to dinner, and there was this lime margarita. I was in the mood for carnitas. Then we went to one of our favorite Mexican restaurants nearby that do a particularly good job with carnitas. I love carnitas, but I'm very picky about how tender that pork is and how the outside has been done in such a way that it's crisped and brown. We came back. We rode around a bit here in our neighborhood and talked to some friends. It's nice that, against the fact that this coming week it'll be longer, daylight into the night, it was nice that it was about 6 to 7 when we're wandering around the neighborhood. Everybody's out on their porches. Everybody's out walking their dogs. Everybody's outside in the dark. Yeah, that's another sign of the shifting of the seasons, isn't it? If it worked, I tried to get some pictures of the moon because it was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know yet. I'm looking at them and I'm clicking through them as I'm talking to you. It looks like maybe one of them might be shareable. I was playing with whether this camera, this new camera, which is now doing a pretty good job because I figured it out, whether it would catch the moon. And not necessarily a great job of catching the moon, but I wanted to share that with you. And the other thing I took is a picture of the Marina at night. There's something special about the Marina at night. Even when it's filled with boats, after everyone's docked and gone to their houses for the night, there's something about the lights reflecting on the water. And the water in the Marina itself, there's 2 fingers to the Marina, and then the in-between is perfectly protected. And the water in there is very calm and very reflective of the light. And there's benches there that I love to go to walking at night and go sit at. And the pictures aren't going to be particularly fantastic because my camera doesn't do night pictures well, but I do think I've captured one that will give you a sense of how peaceful it is at night with the water and the lights reflecting off of it down at the marina. That all adds up to one lovely day, my friends. I am feeling so mellowed out. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful, wonderful day. No plans for the rest of the night except to edit this and get it up. I am discovering I've had to take a rather casual attitude towards uploading videos. Any of you who do your videos in high def know that the time it takes to upload it is extended. Well, I'm just learning to leave my laptop on and step away and don't worry about it. So lessons in patience, Annie, when it comes to uploading your new videos. If it means using this new camera, I get some better images of the nature that I love so much, and things like the labyrinth today and my experience there. Longer upload times will be well worth it. That would be it for today. Just a beautiful day. I'm planning on doing a little planned dreaming tonight. Have you ever done that for yourself? Set yourself up before you go to sleep with the intention of what you're going to dream. I want to return to my cloud self tonight.